Last month I promised that I'll be back with my coffee, but Mumbai had other plans. Monsoon is here, and when it is raining, coffee takes a backseat. Wait, it's not raining right now. I'm saying it rains in general. And when it is raining, we are having chai. But coffee to chai is not the only transition we are doing. We are also switching our focus in this video series from products to people. People who build with Frappe, people who contribute to Frappe, and by the way, also people who want to work for Frappe. Don't worry, we'll also have a big product announcement at the end of this video.
The women in Frappe have been very clear about the fact that they don't want us to lower the bar for women.
Even though Frappe started this initiative, it was completely organized by the partners.
As a next phase, we are targeting the TDS filing automation and Form 16 generation from within the system.
A lot of people trying to switch from very enterprise level products to ERPNext.
Like the events being together, like weekend after weekend after weekend, it feels like an actual music tour that we're going to one city after another.
We've never had this idea of free internships. And we realized like even good engineers, like we pay almost 50,000 rupees a month.
End of May and early June, Frappe team traveled to 7 different cities in India for a series of events called Frappe Yatra. For those of you who have been associated with Frappe for some time now, you would know Frappe Local. This time, we did it in 7 cities within a span of 1 month. But like other things in Frappe, this was not like the regular corporate events.
We went to 7 cities for this yatra. We went to Ahmedabad, Delhi, Chennai, Hyderabad, Pune, Bangalore and Coimbatore. The fun thing is that even though Frappe started this initiative, it was completely organized by the partners. So in every city, there were partners who picked up the project and they were like, okay, we'll make sure that the event goes well. And we had rules and we had, of course, do it like this, do it like that. But they did most of the legwork and got most of the people. Partners didn't just organize the event, they also sponsored it. So that means they put in as equal a share as Frappe does for the event. Everything that happened, all the costs that were incurred were divided amongst all 3 people or all 4, how many of partners there were. We had rules like every product you demo has to be open source, obviously, because we're an open source company, open source community. Secondly, we're not doing this event to do marketing. So even though the partners organized it, the rule was that do it for the community. Like don't do it to say, okay, oh, we organize this event, right? Then there was another rule that everything that you talk about should be educational, should not just be like, these are our case studies, but more like, oh, this is what we learned and this is what you can do it too. So I think most of the talks that I saw, they had like GitHub repos at the end of it and people could just see the code right there. We had around, I think, maybe 1,000 total people who attended, and I think Ahmedabad had the most with 400 people at once in attendance. And even though in Coimbatore we were doing it for the first time, there were above 100 people there, which is very telling of how much people wanted us there. Like the events being together, like weekend after weekend after weekend, was a good thing and a bad thing. Because it's extremely tiring. Like, it feels like an actual music tour that we're going to one city after another. The biggest challenge was how people, like all the partners, all the interpersonal relations, like you tell partners that you do this, don't do this, and sometimes they don't listen, sometimes they listen. And you just have to work through that in the best way possible. So every time Frappe has an event, we do have a trivia, like build Frappeverse. We have a nice trivia. I never get to participate because I'm always backstage. But in Bangalore, I participated and I won the trivia. I think that was, it was nice. So the people in the event were a lot of our partners and their teams, but they also brought along a lot of their customers. And the fun part was that students also came. I hope that the Yatra becomes so successful that we go international also in the coming years. Because we do have, we've had local meetups in Germany and such, but nothing as solid as what we did right now. My biggest takeaway was that, so while I went to these 3 cities and I got to go there and talk to a lot of people, and for me that felt like the most productive thing.
I could attend only one of the Frappe Yatra events, but even that was super exciting. Watching community members talk about innovative products and more importantly, successful businesses they have built on Frappe technology gave a very different sense of job satisfaction. Just a few days after Frappe Yatra, we found ourselves at a different open source gathering. Open Source Summit 2026, one of the world's largest open source events. This was our 2nd year participating as a sponsor. Last year, it was Hyderabad. This year, it was Mumbai. And since Mumbai is home turf, we had no excuse. Our team set up a booth showcasing the Frappe developer platform. What comes to your mind when I say that? Frappe framework? Well, that's not it. We presented 5 products we have for developers. Frappe framework, Frappe UI, Frappe Cloud, Frappe Builder, and the soon to be launched Frappe Studio.
As a company, we participated because we wanted more brand awareness and we wanted to show towards community all sorts of audiences, mostly higher level CEOs, CXOs were there as well, and also there were developers and designers as well. I didn't expect like the non-techier crowd to be there, and a lot of open source companies. I didn't know there were that many open source companies. Overall, very nice. Our booth was mostly exploring framework and developer tools that we provide, and surprisingly we got a lot of good response towards Builder, and a lot of designers coming in thinking of Builder as a replacement for Framer and all, and a lot of people trying to switch from very enterprise level products to ERPNext, and a lot of inquiry about ERPNext and CRM as well.
Events like these are interesting because you get to speak to a lot of young, energetic developers. But that also raises a question. Where will Frappe get its next generation of developer talent? Well, we have been thinking about this for some time now. For years, we have been hiring interns. This year, we opened a new avenue, Frappe Code School, our own apprenticeship program. In June, we welcomed the first batch of apprentices. These are mostly young engineers just getting out of college, wanting to learn real software skills. No, I am not saying that colleges don't teach real skills, right? But learning on the job has its own advantages. Some of them are going to work with us for 6 months or a year. Some of them will stay with us. Others will leave for working with the ecosystem. The goal is same, building better developers.
So one of the big concerns in Frappe has always been our gender ratio, the number of women we hire. It has never crossed more than 30%. Like women should be around like minimum 40%. So we want to achieve that, and then we realize the reason is we are not able to hire more women is because we don't get enough women to apply for jobs. And the way so either we have to reduce our entry barrier for women, or we should work harder to find people who are just on the cusp of getting hired but they don't have the last mile skills for being hired. And like we have had a lot of internal discussions over the years, and the women in Frappe have been very clear about the fact that they don't want us to lower the bar for women. So the only other way to do is to go and actively work with the people who are about to join us. So that was the reason. And we also had our third floor office available for a while, and it made sense that now we have the space, we can easily add 15 to 20 people who can then come regularly, and we can teach them, we can nurture them, we can do office hours almost on a daily basis, and then work with these interns and apprentices who may then end up being full-time. Some of them will end up being full-time with us. So that is the seed of the program. We've never had this idea of free internships. And we realized like even good engineers, like we pay almost 50,000 rupees a month to good engineers for internships, and that is a benchmark for us. So we want to pay high, which is very generally on the higher side for internships. But then we also have seen good internship programs like the GSOC program where you get paid per milestone. So while we will pay people 50,000 a month, we'll roughly give them those kind of milestones. And if the students who are able to hit more milestones may even get paid more than their 50K a month. We are just in the first month right now, so we don't know what kind of projects they'll end up doing, but we want them to end up do useful projects. Maybe in the first 1 or 2 months, we'll give them trial projects so that we give them feedback and we build their skills. But once I think they hit the first 2 milestones, I think the third milestone onwards, we'll give them real projects in the Frappe ecosystem. So we are giving them both the exposures. Like there is the more traditional software engineering path where you learn to write software the slow way, which is basically you hand code everything. And then there is the model-driven path where you don't really look at the code, or you spend minimum time looking at the code, but you spend more time making a good product. We are asking students to pick either of the path. At this moment, I think they're still very early stage, but then we will let the students decide how they want to move forward. So we want to find out people who are truly intrinsically motivated to have a career in software development or product development. And these are people who have internal energy, who have the taste, who have the drive, the learning capability to kind of ship high quality products, or at least the potential to ship high quality products. So we had a walk-in interview for I think 3 or 4 days where we interviewed close to 100 to 200 people, and then out of that we've selected around 15 for this program. Like the whole college experience itself is just driven towards getting good marks and passing in exams. It's not driven around thinking. So when the students are forced to think, we'll find out which students can think and which students are just trying to get stuff done without thinking. I'm hoping, and I'm saying by the law of averages and my experience, maybe 10% to 20% of these kids may end up being hires here.
As Rishabh said, the group has just started, but all of us are really excited to see some real talent in action. Personally, I'm hoping that some of them might even appear on one of our Inside Frappe episodes. Now let me come to the promise I made in the beginning, the big product announcement. If you have used Frappe HR, you would already know that we have payroll there. But payroll compliance is a different animal. Different countries have different payroll compliances. India has too many of them. As of now, Frappe has been relying on the community for all these compliance requirements. Now, we are launching India Payroll inside Frappe HR.
For the compliance-based applications, we believe like people who are already there in the region and who know the domain better are better equipped to build the compliance applications. And then this has also worked very well till now. India compliance, which is built by Resilient Tech, and then German compliance that is built by Aleph. For payroll, we have had multiple attempts, but for some reason like the quality wasn't there or the engagement didn't seem to work out. So then we decided like why not build a better version internally ourselves. So in the very first version of India Payroll, you have a very beautiful tax regime selector, which is very well integrated to the Frappe HR workflow. Users can compare the old and new regimes, and based on that they can select whichever regime is very useful for them, and in that they also get to do the declarations from then and there itself. All the basic statutory deductions like employee provident fund, employee state insurance, labor welfare fund, professional tax are by default configurable within to the system. All you have to do is tick some check boxes and it's all configured and ready to be used. As a next phase, we are targeting the TDS filing automation and Form 16 generation from within the system. So we'll very soon come out with some integration out of the box that users can use to automate these processes.
Our India-based customers and partners have been asking for India Payroll for quite some time now. Hope this launch brings some smiles to their faces. Now let me bring some smiles to the faces of Frappe aspirants. As the team traveled across India, one question kept coming again and again. How do I work for Frappe? Well, the most efficient mechanism is through our careers page. As you can see, we are currently hiring for quite a few positions. In marketing, we are looking for an energetic event manager and a writer who loves to do storytelling. In sales, we are looking for a product consultant who is passionate about products and has a SaaS experience. In tech, we are always on the lookout for talented designers and engineers. If some of this looks interesting, do consider applying. Pro tip: this careers page works, but nothing works as well as connecting with somebody inside Frappe, showing them your work and then getting a referral from them. Fun fact, even yours truly is a referral hire. As we come to the end of this video, let me share something personal. In past, I have primarily worked for corporates and VC-funded startups. Even there were customers, distributors, and influencers around. But the amount of talent, energy, passion, and real contribution that an open source community like the Frappe community brings is completely unmatched. Yeah, I know it looks a little cheesy, but I guess it's okay as long as it is honest. That's it for June. See you next month. Over and out.